Come on out for a day of fun to the Cove Kids Classic, presented by Clarity. Friday, May 6, 2022 at Lyman Orchards Golf Club to benefit the Cove Center for Grieving Children. Partnership opportunities are available. All proceeds from the Cove Kids Classic support the Cove's free programs. Please consider partnering with us to continue to support grieving children and teens in 2022 and beyond. For more information or questions, call Allison Gamber at 203-634-0500 or email allison@covect.org. The Cove Kids Classic takes place Friday, May 6th at Lyman Orchards Golf Club. Registration begins at 8 a.m. Shotguns start at 9 a.m. on the player course.
Vamos a mandarle un saludo a Speaking Irria Podcast. Un saludo para Speaking Ria. M. García te la tira, pana. No estoy apodado por Ria. Yo como quiera le meto. Sigo improvisando en esto, pana. No creo en falta de respeto. Yo me fui, pero vuelvo para atrás. Yo sigo improvisando y te la tiro por detrás. Como a 100 millas. Tú sabes, mi chamaco, no me digas que me voy a poner pesado. Como se puso tu día, oíste. Improvisando de veras. Si tú quieres un podcast, mira Speaking Ria de veras. Ey, Speaking Ria Podcast.
Speaking Ria Podcast. We are live today. It's Wednesday, April 13th. Where have we been, right?
I love hearing that guy.
So do I, man. I actually, I'm going to bring him on the show one of these days. Just haven't had time, man.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I got another full cup of coffee today. It's been that kind of few weeks.
Yeah, it has, man.
It's been an absolute beatdown. But it's good to be back. I mean, I was like ready the last couple of weeks, and I got this message from you like, "Hey, not tonight." Like, what's going on, Frank?
Yeah, you know what? Last week it was a hectic week. Those that know me know that my bearded dragon up and died, and I had a real hard time dealing with it, just for the fact of I got closer to that little guy than what I thought I did, and it took me by surprise, and I had a hard time adjusting to it. I kept on looking at his cage. I still looked at his cage the day, and it was weird because you're looking at it, you're like, all right, is he there? No, he's not there. I buried him on Monday night. Tuesday when I got home from work, I was like, okay, maybe he's alive and he crawled out. That's how my mindset was,
Wow.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
That's pretty deep, man.
It is.
Right. I feel terrible. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, I honestly, I think, we've been doing this show for a while. You've barely ever mentioned it. I, really had no clue as to how important, what was his name? Like, I don't even
Lightning.
know. Who?
Lightning
the bearded dragon. I had no clue, man. And so, I feel terrible, man. That sucks. Especially, that's pretty deep. If you're telling me you're like staring at the cage thinking, he's there. No, he's not.
Listen, I have not even been
able.
I have not even been.
Whole Pet Cemetery on you and just come back.
Listen, I really wish he did.
Oh, man. I'm sorry, Frank.
And I really didn't. It didn't hit me and how much it bothered me or it affected me, right?
Yeah, I mean, sadly, you know the phrase, man. You don't know what you got till it's gone. I mean,
Well,
that's a sad aspect of humanity sometimes. You know, like we unfortunately tend to take things for granted, and we're okay, we're comfortable, and then all of a sudden, poof, like oh
gone.
shit, gone, and then you get smacked. Like wow, didn't see that coming, and it gets you the wrong way, and so I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Hey, it
Sorry to hear
happens.
that.
It happens. I mean,
So I got a little news for you.
uh-huh.
And I think it's gonna help the show a little bit because I mean, me personally, there should be more time and energy being devoted to the show. So I on Monday went into my boss's office and dropped a leave of absence for a year. I am taking a year off of the day job. I need a break. I need a break.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I mean, right now the school system is challenging. It's I'm gonna say disappointing in many areas and in many ways. And I think I've racked my brain with it enough for a while, and I need a break. So I'm gonna just dedicate all my energy to real estate. And but now that I'll be like home more, and even though I'll be spending the majority of the time looking for houses and for clients and things like that, I'll have more time to kind of dig through news and pull out more interesting stories and things that you and I can discuss, debate. So after the end of May, should be a little more feedback coming from my end, and we'll see how it works out for the show. So I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you have a government job and you've been doing it for 20 plus years. It's easy. You just you show up, you work, you get your pay stub, you use your W-2 on tax day, and that's it. I'm going like fully private now. Like this
Well,
is I don't even
yeah.
know what to expect. I know real estate's been good. I mean, for a part-timer, I've closed on 9 houses in less than a year. So I'm doing all right. I'm trying to put in as much time as I can into it. It does require time. You got to hunt down properties. You got to hunt down people. But you ask yourself, how many more closings could I have had I done this full time? And so I think for a year, out of all that craziness in education, I'm just going to be like focused to see how it works out.
Right. Well, hey, look, and if you're able to do it, by all means, do it. I mean, the market right now, it's a seller's market, and I don't know a lot about it, but I'm willing to venture off and say that majority of the people that are buying houses are probably investors.
Yeah,
People that have money.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, unfortunately. Yeah, sketchy. I'll get back to you on that. Frank, a lot of so like any realtor though, you gotta learn, you gotta feel the market, understand what your client, the buyer, in my case, because I haven't done any listings yet. I just I'm not there yet. You got to learn to set your client up for a property that A, they like, and B, they have the capital to fight. Because right now trying to buy a house is like putting a bloody piece of meat in a piranha infested river. It's brutal.
Yeah.
And so right off the bat, you're telling your clients, hey, honestly, this house has a lot of appointments. I'm pretty sure it's got a lot of interest. I don't doubt the agent has 10, 15 offers, and I don't doubt half of them are at least 10 to 15 above ask. So you got to learn the numbers, learn what they can do, and set them up with a contract that will pop out to the seller. So I mean, again, I think with that intuition, I've been able to get 9 closings. But yeah. So,
in between the grays telling you got to listen to your buyer, not hear them. That's the best advice she could offer. That's
You
Anna
do
from
have to
Instagram.
listen to your buyer, but your buyer has to listen to you. And so at the end of the day, I mean, the buyer's going to tell you we want. I've had to tell buyers, look, you're not going to get it. Straight up, you're not going to get it. This is what you've been pre-approved. This property costs this much. That means you have this little to fight with, and you're going to get your butt beat. Don't waste your time. You're going to have to go lower. You're going to have to look for something a little cheaper. We'll find you the best that we can find you at X price range. And from there, you might actually have enough capital to bid above cost because everybody else is. If you really want something bad enough, that's what you're going to have to do. And it's going to take a buyer to kind of swallow their pride and understand that exactly is what has to happen. So, I mean,
well,
it's and then I'm not saying that's always the case, but in the 9 that I've done, that's the majority of them.
Wow. Well, I do want to talk about. You're saying you mentioned something about money right now, right?
Money.
People getting paid, and stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you, people that are out for money a lot of times use sports coaches. All right.
What a transition. I've never associated money and youth sports coaches. In fact, they are totally never related. So how did this happen?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I witnessed something this past week that really bothered me.
Okay.
I was at a youth baseball at a youth baseball game. All right. And I'm all in for competition. Okay. I'm all in.
Wait. Sorry. I promised Sketchy I'd address something real quick. Sketchy, yes. The district I work for allows you to file for a leave of absence. Mind you, it's going to be completely unpaid and no benefits or nothing, but you do hold your spot in the district. So when you're ready to return, rather than have to go through the entire application process again, all you got to do is locate a school that has an opening that suits you and try again and try to get in. But yeah, you can do that. To Sketchy's other point, man, I was just kind of bored, and I actually did a Zillow search in Los Angeles just for the hell of it. Oh my dude, it is brutal out there. Oh my God, I saw like a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom for like 600 square feet, Frank, $500,000. That that's just nuts. I can't, California is an abomination right now on so many levels for so many different things. So just wanted to get back to you, Sketchy. Go ahead. All right, Frank. Hit it.
So my bitch and my gripe with this coach here, right?
Frank's gripe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Because look, I've coached sports before. I've coached kids.
Yes, yeah.
And I've always made it a very straight point to: you come to practice,
right?
You're gonna play. Okay, I am there to win, and I want to win. Okay, but I'm not gonna bring players in that don't practice with me all the time.
Sure.
To play and win. I'm sorry, that's not gonna happen. So I was at this game, and there's a kid there that goes to practice all the time, goes to every single game. He's not the best player on the team, but he's a good player. He played the first 3 innings of the game, more or less. Didn't play the rest of the game. Now the coach brought in, I believe it was 2 to 3 other players to play that are not at practice every day. One of them is not even really on the team anymore. He was on the team last year.
Right.
Because he plays, I believe he plays in middle school also. Okay. So he's too complicated to play. But he was able to play this past weekend. And, you take playing time from the kids that are really dedicated to you.
Right.
So what is this coach really teaching? What are these coaches teaching these kids? Hey, you do everything you want to do to win. You're going to sit, You're not showing loyalty. As the kid shows loyalty to the coach doesn't show loyalty to the kid.
Right. And that could send a massive mixed signal. I mean, I think that's the conundrum with sports, isn't it? Kids are told all the time, especially football. Football is probably one of the biggest culprits. You come to practice every day, blah, 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 blah. You dedicate your time, this and that, blah, 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 and you'll get to play. And then half the time, just because their athletic ability isn't cream of the crop,
Okay, hold on. Let me stop you there.
All right.
Now, this happened at a baseball game. It was a youth baseball game.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I think baseball is more forgiving. If that's the case, I think baseball, you should honor dedication. I mean, yeah, you've got years and all that, but still.
In football, it's very, especially in youth football, you can't really. It's hard to bring another kid in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just fill a spot. Now, when it's flag and all these leagues, and these 7-on-7 leagues, you're able to do that.
Right.
Okay. Like, hey, look, my son plays 7-on-7.
Right.
We did a tournament in Naples. The coach brought another kid in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but you know what? All the kids got pretty much equal playing time.
Okay.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Don't take away time. And just this guy was just I wasn't about that. So let's see. Danny Quest says the coaches don't teach you nothing when they have favorites of the team. If they have favorites, forget about much playing time. That's what happened with me in football in North Marion. You're right.
Yeah, see.
That's very right. If there is favorites on the team, and I think that happens in all sports. And I think it goes down to the mind of the coach. Depending on what level the coach is and what the coach really wants to accomplish. I mean, when I was coaching football, I used to tell my parents, hey, look, I don't care if we win, I don't care if we lose. I'm not here to win no type of championship. If we win, great. But I don't care if we win. And again, I don't care if we lose as long as the kids play hard.
You tell the kids this?
No. I told the parents.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, that's the last thing you want to tell them, though.
No.
Like, show up to practice ready to, like, beaters. Yeah.
Granted.
Right.
What I used to tell the parents was, hey, look, I'm here to coach your kid. We're here to teach them. If we win, great. If we lose, it is what it is. Okay? I'm going to teach your kids, hey, yeah, we are going to lose. And you get up and you fight back. That's all it is to it. But that's my gripe of the week with youth sports. I didn't really agree with that at all because it just wasn't right.
And so, I mean, what do you do, Frank, though? I mean, I agree with you. I think, especially in baseball, like I said, football, it's worse. And like Danny said, it happened to him. You have these like kids that show up who are just phenoms. They're absolute prodigies of the game. And then you have those that are just average, but they work their butt off. And then a lot of time you have a coach that's so focused on winning that, yeah, they'll sacrifice what I call the Rudy. Rudy, right? Remember that movie, Rudy? The
yes.
Notre Dame thing? You'll sacrifice the Rudy just to win the game. So it's a shame. I think, and Sketchy's right. The objective is to win, but I think at the youth level, what are we focused on more? Winning? I guess that's the question, isn't it? What are we focused on? The winning or the development of the youth and their perspective on the concept of self-preparation, hard work, dedication. Where you put that on your personal scale is how you're going to end up coaching. And I think maybe as a parent, you should ask your coach that. I think that's a fair question. Just tell them, look, straight up, what is your priority? I know we all want to win, but are you here? Will you honor the kid that comes here every day, sweats their butts off, does everything you say, puts in the work, and may not be your best player? or are you here just to make sure you get as many W's as possible with your best players? And then you can evaluate if you want your child to join that team or not. So, you know, I agree with you, and I understand what you're saying. I think that comes down to the coach, their priority, and what you want to do as a parent, and what you want from your kid to take from that experience.
Correct.
I would be pissed. Yeah, if my kid, I took him every day, practice, get him in there, make sure, and he may not be the best, but I would hate for him to just look at me and say, Dad, they never play me. That would be like infuriating.
And look, as parents,
So I hear you.
As parents, we go see our kids play.
Right.
Okay. Especially when you're dishing money out.
Damn right.
Okay. Especially when you're dishing money out. So you want to see your kid play. And when you see the coach bring other kids in, okay, that probably didn't pay. Okay.
Yeah.
Just to win a youth game? Nah. That's where the problem is. But hey, look, people, I haven't said this in a while, and I think it's time that we do this. Let's all take a break 1 second. All right?
We got
no. This is not even going to the sponsors. I want you guys to take a break a minute. Go ahead, copy the link of the show, and I want you to share the shows. Send a text message to your parents.
Tell the world.
To your grandparents. To your girlfriend, your ex-girlfriend, your ex-boyfriend, or a boyfriend, or an ex-husband, or an ex-wife, or a friend, or even an enemy, or even a frenemy. Hey, look, let them know that Speaking It Real is on tonight, and they gotta join the conversation. We interact with all our guests, so why not just share the show? Share with your friends, your frenemies, your enemies, and with whoever you want.
So, Frank,
yes,
I think it's time I had to do this to you. You have been saying this for a long time on this show, and every time I hear you say it, I don't say anything. But it's time you got corrected. It's not fremeny, damn it.
Oh, God, what is it?
Frenemy.
Frenemy. You know what? Frenemy. That's the way I say it. That's it. You all fucking know what I mean, so it doesn't really matter. All right? Whether it's frenemy, it doesn't freaking matter, okay? You know what I mean. I am not correct at all times. My spelling at times sucks. You know what? It doesn't matter. Okay?
Oh, man, I had to do that. That was funny.
Hey, listen, you can do that all you want. Remember, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitch. Share us. Remember, we're brought to you by Clovercrest Media. We are over 40 podcasts deep, ranging from sports, politics, murder mystery, Speaking It Real show, wrestling shows, you name it.
Hey, you got to represent. In between the grays is in the audience. In between the
gray, you know, where they speak everything that's in the gray area that I don't speak, that Divided We Stand doesn't speak, from whoever you want. So you know what? Come check out Clovercrest Media, guys. Look, here it goes.
See?
Friend of me. Thanks, Sketchy. Thank you very much. Sketch, I hope you shared the show. So, you know what? I'm going to go on to this. Citizens arrest.
All right.
Right? So let's start getting down to business.
In our lives. Just find somebody and arrest their ass, even though we're not cops. Get them.
For sure. Now, I'm going to put this out here. Right? We got this right here.
What a shot.
The guy on the floor is getting the crap out of him. Okay? So what happened? Hold on. Where's my story here? Oh, did I not?
Ooh. Damn. If that's a citizen's arrest, I'm game. Let me get my stick.
No. Let me tell you something, man. That's super ratchet. I couldn't believe I read the story, right? So what
All
happens?
right. So what's the premise? Why was that poor soul on the floor getting his butt beat?
So the story, the headline that I saw was group of bystanders in Los Angeles beat
Sketch.
man, okay, beat man for allegedly abusing a dog.
Okay, I
Okay.
think I heard about this. Guy was, I
So
guess, abusing a dog. What I'd like to know is what he was doing. I think I saw the video. I did a little research, and they said he was kind of kicking the dog. I don't know how hard. I mean,
correct.
but yeah, I know where we're going with this, man. That's a hell of
Correct.
a good question.
Apparently the guy got arrested. Okay, the dog. The dog has a broken leg. Okay. The problem
Oh,
here lies in
all right.
nothing happened to these wonderful people
Show the
that
picture
were
again.
beating. I am. I'm trying to get it back up here. Nothing happened to these beautiful three individuals beating the crap out of this guy.
Heroes.
And they claim, yeah, heroes. They're claiming that it was a citizen's arrest. So I want to arrest those three individuals for beating the crap out of this guy. Would that be considered a citizen's arrest? I mean, what makes it right? My argument here is, yeah, the guy deserves to get the shit beat out of him, right? The guy was abusing the dog.
Right.
No problem.
Okay.
I get it. The guy should, but how in the hell are you going to claim citizen's arrest? To me, that's assault and battery. If you grab the guy, you detain the guy, okay, fine, that's citizen's arrest. But literally whacking the guy with a stick, beating the crap out of the guy, and he's the one the guy that got his ass beat, the one that gets arrested. Nothing happened to the other individuals. I will press charges.
I think the most important thing you said so far in this whole story to make it sound like it makes sense is Los Angeles. Once again, California rears its ugly head with its backward laws, policies, and everything. I sure as hell wouldn't mind some input from Sketchy. I mean, I guess we got to ask the technical questions. What is permitted in California with regards to citizen's arrest? I mean, this is the one place where on one hand, it's okay to steal things as long as there's like less than $900 worth of stuff. And then on the other hand, you can arrest somebody by bludgeoning him with sticks and kicks. And the person that you're beating shall be the one to go to jail for whatever it is you're trying to arrest him for. I can't think of a more backward state, but hey, I mean, we hear it on the news all the time. These are the wonderful things that happen on the West Coast. And so, yeah, I guess everybody with a soft spot, the first thing they're going to say is, oh, but he was abusing the dog. It should be, fine. I get it. We love the dog. We want to make sure the dog's okay. But you're right. Like, where do we draw the line, Frank? I mean, that's a pretty intense picture you popped up there. Dude's got his stick like way back there. He's like ready to whack something like piñata style.
Look, you know what? Unfortunately I couldn't get the video. I was having issues, but the video shows that the guy got whacked.
Yeah, I saw the video like a few times, and he got kicked around. Like a little soccer ball at practice. They're just beating him around. And then he actually, like, if you saw more of the footage, he was talking. I didn't get to hear what he said, but I don't know, man. Here we go. Cops do it all the time when they arrest people and nothing happens against them. It's ridiculous. Nobody is conducting citizens arrests in California. Thefts less than $850. There we go. My bad. I said 900. So, I don't know, Frank. You're right, though. I mean, these aren't cops. Let's just state the obvious. I know you feel that cops do it all the time, or cops do it. I mean, we've seen footage, but they're cops, and a lot of times they have the footage to back up why they may be doing it. These are citizens. Like, we have laws against that. Anybody, if I was kicking you on the floor, I'd be in jail. So whether it was because you were beating a dog or not, I don't know, man. I mean, where do we draw the line, Frank? What do we do here? What's your answer, man? That's a great one.
Hey, listen, you know what? We started prosecuting cops for it, right?
I mean, true. If there
So
is
why
footage,
not prosecute these people?
no, that's a good point. Very good point. I mean,
I
cops
mean,
have.
look, Catherine says you only see what the news is putting out there. She's right. She goes, I see, this is where she's talking about California now because she's from Cali. She's a Cali girl. So it's not a backward state. I have seen people do illegal things right in front of a cop and nothing happened in Miami. Yeah, you're right. I have seen that too. But this is the thing. These citizens are arresting this individual. So they're saying it's a citizen's arrest. So if it's a citizen's arrest, they're acting like law enforcement. Why don't they get prosecuted like the cops are doing nowadays? So
10 million
Sketchy
people
says,
in LA, a lot of kooks, no justification for what happened. That's why there is police. But
Sketchy, the cops were called. The cops arrested the guy that got the shit beat out of him.
The guy that got kicked and beat. So
nothing happened to the other individuals.
So
that's where the problem is.
Even to Catherine, I gotta say, you can't kind of tell me it ain't backwards if you're arresting the guy that got his ass beat.
Listen, the guy that got his ass beat was the one abusing the dog. He deserves to get his ass beat.
Charge, fine, but like 3 gentlemen committed absolute battery on the guy.
They should. I'm gonna figure that. I'm gonna add to Catherine's top comment here. I think she meant to say they should all be put in jail.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know.
So
I don't know. Wait, no, I hear you. I think
you want to know. You want to know who? You want to know who I think should be put in jail?
Who?
This guy, the Oklahoma governor.
Why, Frank? What did the Oklahoma governor do to you?
Well, I think what he's doing is incorrect. Oklahoma governor signs bill to make abortion illegal.
Completely?
Completely. Okay.
Damn.
So, Governor Kevin Stitt signed a bill into law on Tuesday that makes it a felony to perform an abortion, punishable by up to 10 years in prison as part of an aggressive push in Republican-led states across the country to scale back abortion rights. The bill takes effect 90 days after legislation adjourns next month.
Mm-hmm.
An exception only for an abortion performed to save the life of the mother. Okay. So you mean to tell me that this fucking kook, okay?
Tell us how you really feel.
Okay, so you mean to tell me that this kook has the right to judge every single woman and every single abortion case, regardless if the woman gets raped or not? Tell me,
didn't it say unless there was? Didn't I hear you say that, or did I hear wrong?
No, what I said was the only exception is if the mother's life is in danger. Okay. Meaning, if she's pregnant, okay, if she's pregnant, the only way that she could get rid of this child is if her life is in danger. If her life is not in danger, she can't get rid of this child. And this is where these Republican-led states are going fucking ass backwards. Because at the end of the day, it's a woman's right to do what she wants with her body.
I'm not going to argue with that. I think what's happening here, Frank, is what I call political posturing. What does that mean? I think Texas was the first one to start some kind of Supreme Court challenge. What they're trying to do is essentially remove the abortion, legislation away from federal and back into states. So then once you do that, all 50 states can come up with their own rules. And I think for right now, because the Texas case is actually going to be heard, you have what I call a lot of political posturing. You got all these governors now, especially in these hardcore red states, flexing muscle, imposing the strictest bills they possibly can. It's almost like when you're bidding on something, you bid as high as possible, and then at some point you'll probably get knocked down a bit until you find that place where you and most people will be happy. I think also they're just trying to make a name for themselves, especially, I don't know if it's a political season. Politicians do the stupidest things at the dumbest times for the most unfortunate reasons. That could be the case here. I believe this man, if I read a little bit, ran on that ticket. He won. So it's not to say that maybe people in Oklahoma don't necessarily agree with him, at least the ones who voted, which could very well be the majority. But I hear you.
Yeah, but I think the problem here that we're having is that there are several states already, okay, that are passing these abortion laws, and I know Florida is also passing, abortion laws. I think we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago.
Mhm.
I mean, so you're looking at obviously Texas bans abortion, but you see, Texas bans abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy and makes no exceptions in case of rape or incest either. Okay, you know what? A lot of times, the problem here, I think, after 6 weeks, normally a woman doesn't realize that she's pregnant after maybe 5 weeks, or close to 6 weeks. Because you know what? Sometimes, hey, the women's period's late.
True.
So
they still get it. I mean, it doesn't happen often, but it can. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I know. I tend to agree with mostly Republican things, but every now and then they even make me scratch my head. I don't understand the obsession. They're posturing to a base. Just like, I mean, if we look at it from the other side, and you have like other politicians or governors that push what we call woke policies. Let's be honest, it's a tiny fraction of people who are wanting said woke things, but they'll posture to them and try to pass all this insane legislation that doesn't make sense. And so, yeah, this is one of these things that eventually come around and come back to bite them. I kind of wish that the party would let it go a little bit. I do think what's crucial, and I'll say this, one thing I think we need to do as a nation, this is what everybody, I think, is we do need to come to some kind of consensus as to when, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it, when life truly begins. No one seems to want to answer that. And I think once that debate is settled, any legislation involving abortion could begin to make more sense. But until then, nobody really wants to declare when what is. So everybody wants to protect the life of the fetus, which could start at 3 weeks or 30 weeks. And this is what you get. A bunch of just crazy laws being passed without, it's more about popularity than anything else.
Look, I really wish that we had somebody that will go against what I'm saying right now, so I could really have a good argument with them. Okay. And i.e., speaking of a friend of mine, John Barrows, and I will put him out there.
I see that.
Just because I know I can put him out there like that. And again, it's part of a woman's right to go ahead and not keep a child. Okay, now I'm going to tell you where I might have a problem with an abortion and where I don't have a problem with an abortion. I think it's a woman's right to do it. All right. I do think that if you are screwing around and you're not protecting yourself just because you don't feel like it, then that's where you're wrong. Okay.
Okay.
Mistakes happen. Don't get me wrong. Mistakes happen. Oops happens. Rubbers. Yes and no.
saying.
You know, yes and no. You know, oops happens. Rubbers break.
Right.
Okay? So, you know, does it happen? It happened. Now, when it comes down to a rape case, especially a rape case. Hey, look, you know what? If she doesn't want to keep it, she shouldn't keep it. I don't care who you are. You know, I don't judge a person from what they do, sex or no sex. Don't forget the latex. Exactly, sketch. You know, but at the end of at the end of the night or at the end of the day, whichever way, whichever time, doesn't matter. You know, it's still her right to keep it or not keep it. Don't go out there and be irresponsible. Be responsible, but also, you know, it's come on. I agree with the rape case situation. It all really depends on the situation leading you to wanting an abortion. Exactly. I mean, look, if let's say the girl is 15 years old. Do you really want a baby to have a baby? Because I don't think trying to look at it.
She understands what I'm saying. And that's something that needs to be discussed. Go ahead.
Trying to look at it from the possibility that politicians want something good to come out of it. Abortions do end a life. So laws protecting these lives would be a good idea. But it's like Carlos said, then it needs to be determined when that is. That's
a conversation that will never have an answer, just like immigration. Because if you define that, then you can define proper, I guess, quote unquote, abortion, and then it's one less issue politicians have to try to work for your vote. And that's the way it works. That's the way it works.
You see, these are the conversations I lived 4 times. Anytime I take a test drive, I always wear my driving gloves.
Sketchy one day is going to show up with a smart car, and we're going to know what happened.
He forgot to wear his gloves. Danny, cover your stump before you hump. Danny, I really hope you're covering your stump.
I mean, so
it shouldn't be a matter of whether abortions are good or bad. You're right. But again, it should be a woman's choice.
So, Frank, I'll play devil's advocate with you then, because I mean, we all understand the woman's choice, but it's not. When you talk about abortion, let's be technical. The woman's not the only one involved. Where do we start to consider the life of the child? I mean, nobody wants to touch that. Nobody wants to touch that.
You know what? It all depends on when you determine that is.
Bingo. And nobody wants to answer that.
To me, the life, listen, the minute you start to show a bump or once you pass that first trimester, okay, where the baby's already starting to, or the fetus is starting to mature or to grow, that's when it's too late.
All right. I mean, and everybody has answers that vary. And
at the end, mom, I think, has the authority over that life because mom is the one that carries that child.
Wow. So let me play devil's advocate again, Frank. You're basically giving men a free pass here. I'm just saying, this is not an easy thing. I mean, there's so many factors to it. But not to stray away from your point of the governor. I think he's pandering to a small section that, will secure votes for him. And unfortunately, they'll do this kind of stuff. And it ain't just Oklahoma and abortion. I mean, you could pick any side of the political aisle, pick an issue that just makes zero sense. And there's a small group of people, just a small group that they're trying to impress. And this is what they do. All of them do it. All of them do it. And it's a shame. It's a shame. It's unnecessary, but that's what they got to do to secure their election. So
I think they're going to end up losing a lot more elections like that.
I don't know.
Because, hey, look, not all Republicans think that abortions should be illegal.
So and I agree with you, but you got to remember, he's not worried about all Republicans. He's worried about the Republicans in Oklahoma. That's all he cares about, and that's all he has to care about.
I understand. Well, okay, fine. I'm sure that not all Republicans in Oklahoma. You know what? Watch this. Hold on, Carlos. Hold on. You know what? Let's throw here. Ron DeSantis, your favorite. Excuse me, your favorite person. Okay? I can't even say that name without fucking purpose. Like Trump. You see, I can't. So your favorite person, Santos. Sorry, you see what I'm saying? He's for making abortions illegal, right? So you have a daughter, right?
Right.
Okay, and I'm going to throw this at you. Let's say your daughter has an unwanted pregnancy at 15 years old, or let's say 14 years old. For Florida law,
for what it is, I would be in jail. But go ahead, we'd have no more show.
You can interview. I will interview you from jail. Okay, but she doesn't want it. You don't want her to have it. Mom doesn't want her to have it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But your buddy, sorry, okay, DeSantis passed a law saying abortions are illegal. What do you do now?
Go to California. Ta-da!
So are you going to continue voting for this
stuff?
But my point going is, are you going to continue voting for this guy in the next election?
So, Frank, one issue doth not make or break a politician. If that's the case, you'd never vote for anybody.
I mean, you're right, but I think an issue like that does.
Hypothetical.
Hey, listen, you never know.
Right, Frank. Again, every politician.
Hopefully not.
Every politician is going to have 100 issues. One issue doth not make or break. See, I'm one of these people I don't consider myself a single issue voter. That's why I have no problem with like, all right, hey, he passed a stupid law, but overall he did a great job. I mean, I can do that. Not everybody can do that. To me, those are most dangerous people in America. So it just depends, man. It just depends. But obviously you're going to find, Frank, no matter who you are, if you got to do something to help family and there are laws in your way, you will find a way to circumvent it and get it done. Period.
Look, Catherine has a point. People will start going to illegal clinics and die.
I mean, they might just have to cross state lines. It could be that simple.
I'm going to tell you a lot of Texans, from a story that I was reading when I was looking at the story, is
sorry, guys,
a lot of Texans,
mosquito in here. Go ahead.
A lot of Texans were going into Oklahoma to get abortions. So they're going over to different states. And hey, depending on the state you're in, I mean, let's say Florida goes illegal with the abortions. Hey, let me tell you, and you're in Miami, it's a fucking 8-hour drive just to get out of Florida.
So
that's a long drive.
Fly.
In Texas, no one gets an abortion in another state, she can be sued. How
Miami always had that like isolated corner field. Like, it's busy, it's huge, but it's like by itself.
You're right, Catherine. These clinics will open up, but if they get caught, they're going to have hefty penalties and fines. They will go to jail.
No, I have not seen it. I have no interest in seeing it. I've heard about it, though. I have no idea what that is or what it's about. It has something to do with like forced pregnancy for women and stuff. It's a crazy concept. I'm just not interested. So they like to bring that up. Bird
dropping. Carlos's best friend the other day was out there speaking about fuel.
President Marbles, the asterisk.
Yes, the asterisk, as Carlos calls him. So apparently, here he is, okay, with some little weird stuff over here on his collar. People are arguing or trying to wonder what this really is. Is this bird shit? Could this be bird droppings? Did he end up getting shit on?
Couldn't have happened to a better guy. Yes. So actually, Elizabeth, to touch base on that, I think that you can take this concept when it comes to government involvement and apply it to anything. That's the issue. That's the issue. Not just women's reproduction, everything. He was given a speech, and here's what I saw. I did some research. I'm a fair man. As much as I can't stand marbles and chief, I'm a fair man. I saw the video. If you just look at the video, it clearly looks like he's just talking, and then all of a sudden, bloop, this thing lands on his collar. Like it straight up looks like bird shit. So now we live in the age of absolute mastery when it comes to Photoshop and adjusting. People have taken up close pictures, and I've seen stuff that just looks white, but then I've also seen stuff that looks yellow and dusty. To be fair, he was in a corn silo, so I guess like a place that like turns corn into like just pure dust, and it was yellow, and there are piles of it around him, and maybe something must have fallen from the roof or ceiling. That's a possibility, but the media went nuts. I mean, if you run a search, the first 30 articles all clearly say he got shat on. So I don't know. If it is bird shit, then whoever, whatever, wherever that bird is, I give him the MVP or MVB, most valuable bird. But it did look funny. He just standing there and poop. Couldn't happen to a better man. Seriously.
I bet. So Elizabeth says, isn't it good luck for a bird to shit on you?
Ugh, Lord knows he needs it.
He does. So, I'm going to touch real quick on this topic.
Yeah.
The Brooklyn subway shooting. Right? So we all know that this guy, what is it? James Franklin, is it?
I think
I'm sorry, Frank James. I said it backwards.
Frank James. All right.
Frank James, right?
Yeah, Frank James.
Shot up the subway. All right. He shot 33 times. He hit 10 people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Miraculously, nobody died.
That is a miracle. I mean,
right.
You have to be a horrible shot to miss people in the subway. So thank goodness.
Here's a video of the chaos that was going on. If it wants to play. He threw smoke. He was armed with 2 smoke grenades. So the guy was armed with 2 smoke grenades. He had a 9mm pistol. He shot 33 times.
Frank, help me out here. A 9mm pistol carries how many bullets per clip?
Depending on the clip.
Okay.
Look. He had a 9mm Glock that he purchased in 2011. More than likely, I believe he had a 3rd generation Glock, 9mm.
Right.
Which I think is probably a Glock 19 or a Glock 23, something like that. I don't remember. Standard magazines for that Glock are 9 bullets.
9 bullets per clip.
Correct. You could get more. You could get a magazine that holds more. Okay, so he switched out magazines.
I'm doing the math in my head, man. 33, that's 4.
That's 4 clips.
4 reloads.
Yeah, but it's not hard to reload. If you know how to handle your firearm, all right, it's not a hard reload.
So I mean, okay, I'm glad you said that. If you know how to handle your gun, the reload is easy. I'm just playing devil's advocate. You know how we do it on this show. You shoot 33 bullets, you hit 10 people. None of them, thank goodness, I think critically. I haven't heard of anybody being injured critically, but there were injuries. Frank, can you honestly say this man knew how to handle a gun if you shot 33 bullets in a crowded subway and hit 10 people?
Well, he did hit 10 people.
Right.
So I mean, he
I don't
knew
know.
how to shoot.
I don't really think he must have been just going nuts. I can't imagine just how all that unfolded. That's what I'm saying, Danny. I don't. But there's a lot of things about this particular situation that bother me and
yeah.
Too, but go ahead.
Right, but I don't really want to get into this guy that much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the guy was caught today.
Right.
And my argument here is this. You had the New York City mayor came on today and said, "We got him." Right? We got him. Those were his first words. And then he said whatever the hell he wanted to say after that. All right? My problem is this. Hold on. This is our new future. There's no adequate mental health care. People are strapped to the max and struggling. And the amount of guns accessible in America. His YouTube videos are insane. Yeah, I was trying to find his YouTube videos and I couldn't. But, my problem with all this, and we could speak on mental health and guns in America again, at another time. I always love having that conversation. All right. But Mr. Mayor or New York City or Mr. President or whoever you want to call, what have you done to try to prevent this?
Cut $1 billion from the budget of the police department. That's what they did.
Okay. What have these states done?
New York City hasn't done shit. They've taken away money from cops. Did you hear? I don't know. Again, I hate hearing these things because then the inner tinfoil in all of us begins to show up. So apparently 9 of the cameras in that particular station or area weren't working. Really?
Again.
And then, one thing that does bother me, and it's something that, I do zone in on because I think it's obvious, like the dude was very, very racist. I mean, unapologetically racist. I don't see any hashtags going around about, hate here, do I? It irks my nerve that only certain perpetrators get the blasted racist coverage. This is 2 incidents now, Frank. 2 mass incidents where the perpetrators are just a slightly darker shade of white. And the concept of racism is just never talked about. We had a guy, just a few months ago, who ran over a bunch of people at a parade in Wisconsin. Nobody talked about him being racist, but the dude left a trail. And here we are again. This guy had some videos. He even blasted the new Supreme Court Justice's husband, or he blasted her for being married to a white guy. So this dude was unabashedly racist. We're just worried about guns and blah, blah, blah. I get tired.
I don't know how much has been said, to be honest.
I get tired.
You're
right.
Bullshit.
It's bullshit. I'm tired of the one-way coverage, and it's done deliberately. I mean, that's exactly how you meant racism, is by constantly doing things one way.
Yeah, but I did hear the media say that this guy was racist. Again, I don't know how much was said because
that's all we heard. The white dude shot up the parlor. Remember we talked about.
Yeah, that's but I'll be honest. I honestly don't. When it comes down to people shooting up places, I don't pay mind to those. I pay mind to the story, but I don't give them. I don't give the attention, I guess you could say. I forgot what I was going.
Your dog
know,
is looking for a place to poop, man.
No, he's not. You better not shit or I'm going to kick your ass.
Oh, man.
All right. So, you know, again, my question goes to this. New York or government, what have you done for
Well,
this
Frank,
not
what
to
are you
happen?
expecting? What are you expecting them to do? See, because Sketchy brought up a point that I do agree with, which is like the mental health situation in this country is in a bad place. And this honestly started back with one of my favorites, President Reagan. I think he was the one who basically turned off the faucet on support to mental health hospitals, and they all kind of just, and it's been that way for years now, and here we are. We do need to address it. If we need to bring back or support, fund more hospitals, and I don't want to use the word institutions, but I'm sure somebody can help me with a better word if there is one, places where we can treat people with mental health on a more consistent or even permanent, if need be, basis, then I'm all for it. Because I mean, I am totally for the concept of people living freely, but there comes a point where there are people that should be looked at and maybe attended to on a much more, on a much more watchful basis. It's just, it is what it is. And that's a problem. It's a problem we have in this country right now. There's a lot of mental health. It seems to be getting worse, not going to lie. And yet there's really no remedy for it. And so we're going to have more of this. And New York hasn't done itself any favors by reducing its own forces. Like I said at the beginning, they cut $1 billion from their department. What good does that do? But here they are. So I don't know, Frank. I don't know. But it's a sad story. I mean, I'm glad. It's a miracle. Again, a packed. Have you ever been in a packed subway in New York, Frank?
Yes.
Yo, so there's like zero breathing room. I mean, I find it miraculous that 33 bullets were fired and only, and I say only because like I'm trying to like the ratio here. Only 10 people.
Apparently his gun jammed. Apparently he had
after 33 shots. Whew. Wow.
Yeah. So in other news today or this week,
being sarcastic.
So let's see what Reagan shut down all the mental hospitals in California and in America. California, there are over 800 people on a wait list who are incompetent to stand trial. We lock up the mentally ill instead of treatment. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You're
what I
absolutely right. But again, all right, so we're locking up the mentally ill. I mean, look, we're going into a topic that we could discuss next week.
I'm sure we'll be talking about it next week. It'll still be out there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, I got you. But either way, this is simple. I'm definitely killing the transitions today. You're absolutely right.
I'm going to say it again. I'm going to defend Frank, Elizabeth. I got to say it. You got to remember, Frank is like an absolute octopus. While the show is running, he's doing like 6 things. I mean, I can't expect him to be smooth about it. I props to him for the way he handles it. It may not be the smoothest landing, but I love him for it. So go on, Frank.
So,
I got you.
I know you got me. I know. So Gilbert Gottfried.
That sucks. I love Gilbert Gottfried. That's a shame.
Yeah, but the guy is a hell of a comedian.
Bro, he was funny as hell.
I remember him more for being this guy.
Yeah.
All right. And I think as the parrot in Aladdin, he was funny as hell.
He was always like just annoying, squeamish character, but he did it so well. He was just awesome. I mean,
well, do you know that he was actually blacklisted at the Emmy Awards because he made a joke in reference to Paul Rubens
Pee Wee Herman.
for Pee Wee Herman masturbating in an adult movie theater
He
right after it happened.
existed for that.
Yeah. He
Sensitive
just.
way back then.
But hey, listen. On 9/11, he made a joke. At a club of they were roasting Hugh Hefner. 3 weeks after September 11th, and he kind of said something to a point where he intended to catch a plane but could not get a direct flight because they have to stop at the Empire State Building first.
Oh,
So he kind
Yikes.
of yeah,
Too
and
soon.
and then 2011 for the tsunami in Japan, he ended up saying Aflac does 75% of his business in Japan. Hold on. No. I don't know what he said. Yeah, he said something about Aflac and the earthquake. So
Yeah, I mean,
kind of.
he pushed it like any comedian. They always want to see what they can get away with. It's what it is. Well, the guy was memorable. He had a voice that you obviously will never forget.
Definitely.
And it is what it is, man. But by 67, what bothers me, Frank, I guess, about getting to this age is that now, as the names that come up for people dying are names we are much more familiar with. It starts to suck. It really starts to suck. And so, I saw that on Facebook. It came up. I'm like, damn, we lost Gilbert. No way. Brutal.
Sketchy. This is another picture that I saw today online. There's a picture of him, Bob Saget, and the late great one, Robin Williams.
Yeah.
It's like you said. We're seeing all these comedians that we grew up, watching.
True. Right.
They're kicking the bucket, and a lot of them, believe it or not, I mean, shouldn't really be dying just yet.
You're right. I mean, how they're going down is now. What did he die from? I still don't think I caught this. What was Gilbert's issue?
He had a type of muscular dystrophy.
Okay.
I'll tell you the name of it. He had hold on, let's see. Recurrent verticular tachycardia. Okay, that was complicated by type 2 myotonic dystrophy.
So it was a health issue for him. I mean, 67 is young. The human body, man, when it's ready to fail, it'll surprise you on how it wants to do it. It's some crazy shit. Saget, I heard he fell in the bathtub.
I
think I heard.
Here, this is what he died of.
Yeah, it's like Elizabeth is saying, irregular heartbeat. I mean, what can you do, Frank? It's just, bro, when the body's ready to go, it'll just this is how it's gonna happen.
Listen, I am a firm believer, okay, that we all have a date. Right here. There's a date that goes right here.
Really?
Okay, on our back.
I'm gonna start checking my back.
You're not gonna see that date, but when it hits, it hits.
Right.
What
are you gonna do? What are you
not
gonna
a
do?
damn thing. There's not a lot that could happen.
Nope.
All right.
No, man.
When it's your turn to go, it's your turn to go. There's nothing you could do about it. But hey, listen, everybody. Carlos, you have any final thoughts?
No, I guess I just welcome back baseball. Go Mets. Not much, man. It's good to be back. I know it's a couple of weeks. I am looking forward, like I said earlier, to see how the show can improve a little bit once I take a break from job one. So, stay tuned, America. It's about to get wild in here in about a month. Outside of that, Frank, I'm good, man. I'm good. Inflation is great. I'm good.
No rant of the week. Well, Elizabeth, I think my rant of the week
Started the show with that, I think.
Yeah, I came with in the beginning of the show with youth coaches. They're a bunch of assholes. All right. That's how I started it. You know, and I don't think I gotta go much further into youth coaches because
but look,
you know what?
I think Elizabeth is basically signaling that we mandatorily need to have a specific rant of the week segment every week going forward. And I know you, of all people, are more than capable of being pissed off about something every 7 days. You got this.
I'm sure I could figure it out.
All right, man. Well, take it away, Frank. I think we're good.
I think we are good. Hey, look, you might not agree with what we're speaking, or you might agree with what we're speaking, but Carlos and I, whether we're on Speaking It Real or Divided We Stand, or any show that is sponsored by Clovercrest Media, will always be speaking it real. We will catch you next week.
Good night.
Good night. We're gonna promote.
Speaking the Real Podcast. Vamos a mandarle ahí a Speaking the Real Podcast. Oye, ¿te enteraste del nuevo podcast? ¿Cuál es? De Speaking Real. Speaking is real, normal. Oye, mi inglés está malo, pero Speaking is real es lo mejor, mi hermano. Vengo descargando de antemano para que sepa. Si quiere un podcast bueno, mire, Speaking, que se respeta. Para que lo sepas, están duros y le meten. Speaking Real, pana, no hay billete, pero sí hay talento para demostrar. Y cuando estemos arriba, todito vamos a ayudar.